At times, it seems that we know almost everything about our planet, but we must not forget that the world around us is so vast and diverse that great discoveries will still be made for many centuries. Even then, we will not know enough about this ever-perplexing planet, the ocean, space, human body, and much more. All these topics contain huge undocumented mysteries. These facts are only a small part of what has been discovered recently, but they are definitely intriguing. When compared to the boundless cosmos, it seems the Earth is much clearer and simpler. Well, that may not be true. Scientists have always tried to look deeper and further to learn more. In recent times, one of the most important occasions in space exploration has been the opportunity to look at a black hole. So far, all our ideas about black holes have been based on simple theory. Their real existence was only a scientific hypothesis. Black holes are a region in space where the gravitational pull is so strong that even light cannot pass through it. Last year, an international group of astrophysicists presented the first ever photo of a black hole, or rather its event horizon. This image is the result of several years of processing data obtained by radio telescopes around the planet. By the way, the most common image of a black hole in popular culture, before the appearance of a real photo, was the image of Gargantua from the film Interstellar, the scientific reliability of which was backed by a famous American astrophysicist named Kip Thorne. A lot of things on Earth are affected by the moon, so scientists devote their entire lives to studying it. That being said, there are still many questions awaiting answers. The moon and Earth rotate in synchronization, so only one hemisphere of the moon's surface is visible from the planet. Whatever is on the other side of the moon has always been a mystery. Although an actual photo was taken in 1959, but only recently did the Chinese Change 4 spacecraft successfully land on the far side of the moon, for the first time in the history of mankind, as part of China's lunar program. The probe included a video camera, a geological radar for studying lunar soil, and an infrared spectrometer for studying minerals. Also a device used for researching the effect of solar wind on the moon's surface. Unfortunately, direct communication between the probe and the Earth is not possible, since the moon is located between them. That is why a relay satellite was launched, which is responsible for transmitting the signal from the spacecraft to our planet. Massive stars don't die quietly. Their deaths are spectacular explosions that, when viewed from far away, can outshine the brightness of an entire galaxy. Astronomers were able to detect the most powerful of these explosions ever recorded. This supernova was discovered in February 2016 in a galaxy 4.5 billion light-years from Earth. This star is impressive in many ways. Not only is it brighter than any other supernova that scientists have ever seen, but it also has a number of properties and features that make its explosion rare compared to other similar outbursts in the universe. One of these facts is that at its birth, this star was at least 100 times more massive than the Sun. If you dig around in the ground long enough, you are sure to find something. That's exactly what happened to our farmer and amateur paleontologist, John de Groot, who discovered the jawbone of a previously unknown dinosaur. The new species is 79.5 million years old and was closely related to a known member of the Tyrannosaurus rex family, but it is at least 2.5 million years older than its closest known relative. Scientists have named the new dinosaur Thanatopteristis degratorum, which in Greek means the Grim Reaper. This name was inspired by the name of the Greek god of death, Thanatos. Although people have never actually seen the dinosaurs, their existence is impossible to deny. Many finds indicate that the planet was inhabited by these amazing creatures many million years ago. However, isn't it curious that there are no more dinosaurs left on our planet? The Cretaceous-Paleogen extinction event, after which dinosaurs, plesiosaurs, and pterosaurs disappeared 65 million years ago, is the most well-known and best-studied theory to explain their disappearance. However, there are still many mysteries associated with this event. Scientists at the University of Connecticut conducted a study and found that the collision of an asteroid with the Earth could have caused a prolonged obstruction of sunlight. This, according to scientists, was the reason for the extinction of the dinosaurs. The university staff presented a model that showed the effect of sulfur and dust emissions from the impact of the stellar body, which could have caused global climate change. That was followed by a cold season that was very severe, but not severe enough to lead to total extinction. However, soot emissions from extensive forest fires also blocked out sunlight, stopping photosynthesis for a year. As a result, the food supply of herbivorous dinosaurs was undermined, and the food chains were disrupted. According to scientists, this study, among other things, can help us understand what a nuclear winter could be like following nuclear war. Dinosaurs are not the only amazing creatures that have lived on Earth. About 60 or 70,000 years ago, Australia was inhabited by dozens of species of large animals. 2-meter-high lizards called Megalanias, 3-meter birds of terror, Ginornis, cyclopean marsupial wombats weighing a ton, animals whose mass exceeded 100 kilograms, almost all simultaneously died out about 50,000 years ago. Before, it was believed that people arrived in Australia and destroyed the megafauna, just hunting it or disrupting the ecosystems that were already established at the time. However, the results of recent excavations have shown that people arrived in Australia long before the extinction of megafauna and couldn't have been the main reason for its disappearance. Archaeologists have found tools in Australia that date back 65,000 years. This discovery also suggests that humans were not the main cause of the extinction of the bizarre megafauna of the southern continent. In 2019, Israel was preparing for the construction of a highway that was to pass near the city of Tel Aviv. The ruins of another large city were uncovered, accidentally, during the preparation for constructing the highway. The age of the ruins is estimated to be at more than 5,000 years old. The Megalopolis covers approximately 65 hectares and about 6,000 people lived in it. Archaeologists have unearthed streets, squares, drainage structures, and storage facilities. Previously, it was believed that at this time people were engaged in agriculture and did not build large cities, so this finding is of great significance. We have all heard stories about the Bermuda Triangle and know of the legends associated with it. This so-called Devil's Triangle has always scared sailors and pilots, but it could not stop those who seek the truth. Like, for example, when a team of marine archaeologists found a ship in the Bermuda Triangle that sank about 100 years ago. The merchant ship SS Cotopaxi left port on November 29, 1925, and headed for Cuba. After some time, the ship disappeared along with all of the crew members. The search for this ship was the basis for the first episode of the Science Channel series Shipwreck Secrets. What's interesting is that the wreckage was discovered back in the 80s, but we've only now managed to find out what vessel the wreckage belonged to. British oceanographers explain the loss of ships in the Bermuda Triangle by referencing huge waves that are formed due to storms in that area. In addition to that, there are many inexperienced navigators who are not able to cope with their ships in those extreme conditions. Swiss amateur archaeologists have discovered an arm made of bronze and gold. It is approximately 3,500 years old and could have been used as a prosthesis. In fact, the discovery was made in 2017, but it wasn't made public immediately. This artifact is currently the oldest sculpture of a human body part in Europe. The find is truly unique. Archaeologists know nothing about other similar Bronze Age metal sculptures in Central Europe. Almost every kid in their childhood dreams of finding a real buried treasure, and sometimes growing up they manage to do it. This is what happened to the Mexican archaeologists who found the treasures of the ancient Mayan civilization in the water cave of Balamku. The Maya are a historical and modern Indian people who created one of the most highly developed civilizations of the ancient world. Archaeologists have found hundreds of handmade items under the ancient Maya city of Chichen Itza in the north of the Yucatan Peninsula. In a place hidden from the eyes of people, about 200 artifacts were stored in excellent condition. Among the artifacts were containers for food, jars that were probably used for sacrificial rituals. Amphorae with water and incense were also found. Perhaps scientists will be able to find more from the remains of these ancient people. This will of course help us learn more about that period of history. There are a lot of different theories about the origin of man, but scientists are still trying to figure out which of these theories is closest to the truth. An example of one such experiment in origin theory is of Danish scientists who made a portrait of an ancient human with microbes found in the remains of its mouth. With the remnants of DNA contained in a fossilized gum made of birch resin, it turned out to be a dark-complected, blue-eyed girl who lived 5,700 years ago. She was a hunter-gatherer. With the DNA, it became clear what she ate, what bacteria and viruses she carried in her body, where her people might have come from. Researchers also found that she was lactose intolerant. She was a woman who in adulthood could not ingest milk, like many ancient and even modern people living today. DNA from the gums located in Saltholm were well preserved because they were hidden in the soil, isolated from contact with oxygen. Scientists found that bacteria there coexist peacefully in the body of modern humans. If you know of any other recent incredible discoveries, be sure to write about them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any new videos.